Hey everyone, I'm Sophie, and let's be real for a second. College is tough. There's reading and then more reading, and did I mention the reading? It's not just about cramming information into your brain anymore. We're going to dive into 10 study hacks, inspired by methods used at Harvard, that can help you study smarter, not harder. Because let's face it, pulling all-nighters and surviving on caffeine is not a sustainable strategy. So let's get started. Our first hack is all about ditching the passive rereading and embracing a more active approach. It's called active recall, and it's like a superpower for your memory. When you actively try to recall information, you're forcing your brain to work harder. Instead of just rereading your notes or textbook chapters, try testing yourself. Use flashcards, cover up sections of your notes and try to remember what's underneath, or even just grab a blank sheet of paper and write down everything you can recall from memory. The act of struggling to remember, even if you get it wrong at first, is what makes this technique so effective. It forces your brain to create stronger neural connections and makes the information stick around for the long haul. So, ditch the passive highlighting and embrace the power of active recall. Your brain will thank you for it. Our next hack is named after the brilliant physicist Richard Feynman, and it's based on a simple but powerful idea. If you can't explain something simply, you don't truly understand it. The Feynman technique challenges you to become a teacher, even if it's just to an imaginary audience. Here's how it works. Pick a concept you're trying to learn. Now, imagine you have to explain it to a 5-year-old. This forces you to break down complex ideas into simple terms, using clear and concise language. As you explain, pay attention to the areas where you struggle. Go back to your notes, do some more research, and try again. Keep refining your explanation until even a 5-year-old could grasp the basic concept, so channel your inner teacher and give the Feynman technique a try. Let's talk about forgetting. It's a natural part of learning, but it can be incredibly frustrating when you're trying to remember important information. That's where spaced repetition comes in. This technique is like a workout routine for your memory, helping you retain information over the long term. Instead of cramming information all at once, you review it at increasing intervals. For example, you might review your notes for the first time after 1 day, then again after 3 days, then a week later, and so on. The key is to space out your reviews in a way that challenges your memory just enough to make it stick. So, outsmart your forgetful brain and embrace the power of spaced repetition. Your future self will thank you for it. Let's be honest, procrastination is the enemy of productivity. But what if I told you there's a technique that can help you conquer procrastination and boost your focus, all while taking regular breaks? Enter the Pomodoro technique. Here's how it works. Set a timer for 25 minutes and dedicate that time to focused work. No distractions, no multitasking, just pure, uninterrupted focus on the task at hand. Once the timer goes off, take a short break of 5 minutes. Repeat this cycle 4 times, then take a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. This structured approach to work and rest helps prevent burnout and keeps your mind fresh and alert. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed by a mountain of work, ditch the procrastination and embrace the power of the Pomodoro. You might be surprised at how much you can accomplish in just a few focused bursts of effort. Here's a secret. College is not about memorizing facts and figures. It's about understanding concepts, making connections, and applying knowledge in new and creative ways. Yet so many of us fall into the trap of rote memorization, highlighting endless pages of text without truly grasping the underlying meaning. Understanding is about connecting the dots, seeing the bigger picture, and developing a deep and lasting comprehension of the material. So, how do you shift from memorizing to understanding? It starts with asking the right questions. Don't just passively absorb information, engage with it. Ask yourself why and how questions, draw diagrams, create mind maps, or try explaining the concept to someone else. The more you actively engage with the material, the more likely you are to truly understand it. So, ditch the highlighter, put on your thinking cap, and embrace the power of understanding. Let's face it, sometimes studying can feel a bit, abstract. We're stuck in our heads trying to make sense of theories and concepts that seem far removed from our everyday lives. That's where contextual learning comes in. It's about taking what you're learning and applying it to real-world situations, making it more relevant, engaging, and memorable. Look for opportunities to apply what you're learning in practical ways. If you're studying biology, volunteer at a local animal shelter or visit a natural history museum. By bringing your studies to life, you'll not only make them more engaging and enjoyable, but you'll also deepen your understanding and make the information more memorable. Remember the Feynman technique we talked about earlier? Well, this next hack takes that concept one step further. It's based on the idea that teaching something is one of the best ways to learn it yourself. When you have to explain something to someone else, you're forced to organize your thoughts, identify any gaps in your knowledge, and articulate the information in a clear and concise way. So, how do you put this hack into practice? Find a study buddy, a friend, a family member, or even just a willing pet, and teach them what you're learning. Explain the concepts, answer their questions, and encourage them to ask for clarification. You might be surprised at how much you learn in the process of teaching. Not only will you solidify your own understanding, but you'll also gain valuable insights from the questions and perspectives of others. So, embrace the power of sharing knowledge. Let's be real. Sometimes the best study hack isn't actually a study hack at all. It's about taking care of yourself, both physically and mentally. Because let's face it, you can't expect your brain to function at its best if you're running on fumes. Think of your brain like a high-performance engine. It needs the right fuel to operate at peak efficiency. That means eating a balanced diet, getting enough sleep, staying hydrated, and incorporating regular exercise into your routine. When you take care of yourself, you're not just improving your physical health, you're also boosting your cognitive function, enhancing your mood, and reducing stress levels. So make self-care a non-negotiable part of your study routine. Your brain and your grades will thank you for it. Let's face it, winging it might work sometimes, but when it comes to studying, a little planning goes a long way. Creating a study schedule might not sound like the most exciting hack, but trust me, it can be a game changer. Think of your study schedule as a roadmap to success. It helps you stay organized, prioritize tasks, and make sure you're covering all the necessary material. So how do you create a study schedule that works for you? Start by identifying your peak productivity times. Are you a morning person or a night owl? Schedule your most challenging tasks for the times when you're most alert and focused. Next, break down your workload into smaller, more manageable chunks. Don't forget to schedule in regular breaks to prevent burnout and keep your mind fresh. Remember, your study schedule should be a flexible guide, not a rigid set of rules. Our final hack is all about mindset. Because let's face it, studying isn't just about memorizing facts and figures. It's also about believing in yourself, embracing challenges, and cultivating a positive attitude towards learning. This is where the concept of a growth mindset comes in. It's the belief that your abilities are not fixed, but rather, they can be developed through hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn from your mistakes. When you have a growth mindset, you view challenges as opportunities for growth, setbacks as temporary obstacles, and criticism as constructive feedback. So how do you cultivate a growth mindset? Start by reframing negative self-talk. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," try saying, "I'm still learning," and that's okay. Remember, learning is a journey, not a destination. So there you have it, 10 study hacks, inspired by methods used at Harvard that can help you study smarter, not harder. Remember, it's not about cramming or pulling all-nighters, it's about finding what works for you, experimenting with different techniques, and developing a sustainable approach to learning. Don't be afraid to try new things. Adapt these hacks to fit your learning style. And most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way. Learning takes time, effort, and a whole lot of patience. You've got this. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more study tips.